Cocky as fuck, everything about me poppin'. Got face, I got body, you name it, I got it. Cocky as fuck, bitch, you know I'm conceited. Yo hoe wanna be me, yo nigga want eat it. Cocky as fuck, everything about me poppin'. Got face, I got body, you name it, I got it. Cocky as fuck, nigga, fuck your opinion. I hustle, I get it, I get it, I get it. I am not seeking approval, I'm number one, I tell bitch.
Hi baddies, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if this is your first time, hi future baddie, welcome to my YouTube channel, Gabby the Baddie, and this is where I show you guys makeup looks, beauty hacks or looks or skincare routines and all the other things that comes with the life of being a baddie like moi. I'm doing my self photo shoot for my website because I do provide beauty services, just in case you didn't know. And I'm going to go at myself. So that will be the video of me getting ready to be beautified for the photo shoot. All right, so I don't know about everyone else, but I just happen to start off with the eyebrows. That is the first step in doing makeup. Not saying that if you do the other ones first, it's wrong per se. However, that is not what I choose to do. That is not my order. It is eyebrows first, eyes, then the rest of the face. All right, starting off, I go in with the NYX eyebrow. This is the micro pencil, and I go in with shade Espresso, and I just fill in my eyebrows however I desire, and then I clean it up with some concealer. I'm going to use the spoolie first, just to brush them up a little bit. Then I'm going to go in, and this is a retractable pencil, so if you see me looking this way, it's because that's my mirror. Let's start off with the back, the tail part of the eyebrow, and then I fill in towards the front at the bottom. And then I repeat the step on top. And that's how one brow looks, and I repeat that whole step on this side. Now that I have the eyebrows drawn on, the next step would be to clean them up with concealer. The e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I use two different shades. This is for face as well as cleaning up eyebrows and everything else. But I do go in with the brighter of the two. This is shade Tan Neutral. Shade Tan Neutral. And you're literally just going to trace the bottom of your eyebrow and cleaning up underneath. And I use like a flat head brush, shaped like this. This is my MAC brush. It's brush 248. And then you're going to go ahead and carve it out. We'll start off at the back. And then make my way to the front. And then I'm going to drag it down because this will also act as an eyeshadow base. Then I'm going to blend it out with my Real Techniques brush, which is the base shadow brush. Fluff your hair like this, and you're just going to pat it in. And then you repeat the step on the other side. Now, in prior routines, I did used to do the concealer on top of the eyebrows as well, but I figured that using the foundation when I get to that step and blending it out on the forehead will also cover up anything that's messed up on top. So I'll just leave the top alone until we get to that step. So now the next step will be the eyeshadow. This look, I'm not going to do too much. I say this every time, but I'm going to actually try to stick to that. I'm going to try to keep it neutral, but with a pop of like shimmer or whatever. So let's get started. I'm going in with one of my favorite palettes, which is the In the Buff palette by Beats by Deb Cosmetics. Shout out to Deb because she kills it when it comes to makeup looks. So because I'm keeping it neutral, I'm going to try to go in with a neutral base color. This time I'm going to be using Toffee and Nutty and mixing those two together to just lay the first base color. So I'm just using any little brush that's floofy so I can get the coverage everywhere. And this is a NYX brush, number 16. Once again, going in with Nutty, Toffee, tap out the excess. Let's just add in the color back to your eyelid, bringing it up. And I'm okay with that little highlight underneath the brow, so I don't try to drag it too far up. And just like that, I have the base cover. Now on to the shimmers. I'm gonna go in with shade Glam, which is this one, because I feel like it's not too crazy, but it's a nice little pop. And I'm gonna go with like a concentrated brush. I'll do this one, which is Morphe brush M152, and I'm going to like almost scrape it up in a way and then pack it on. And I'm using the mirror on this palette. And there goes my pop. And I'm gonna do that with the other eye. And then I do have to do like this, look straight forward, because I have hooded eyes, so that tends to suck up any extra look I try to do because of the eyelid folding in. So I'm just making sure it's still noticeable. And bring it up a little bit higher. And just like that, I have my pop. Now my next step that I go on with is applying eyeliner. I am currently using the liquid eyeliner by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And like I do a little bit of a wing depending on how I'm feeling. And I just make sure that I try to keep it as low as possible, which is kind of hard for me, especially with liquid eyeliner because it tends to travel if you blink a little bit or if it didn't dry down fast enough. Typically I start off with the ends and make my way back in, and then just try to connect from the inner corner to the rest of what I am doing. I am back with both eyes lined. I'm going to go in and apply my primer. Hydro primer. Just applying that to the fingertips. And while my skin is soaking that in, I will go ahead and start with the lash, which this is a lash that I've also ordered through Amazon. I can't remember who the seller is. It doesn't look like there's too much extra for the inner corner, but I'm still going to trim it. And you're also going to trim it on an angle. Now that both lashes are trimmed properly to fit your eye, I'm going to go ahead and with the Ardell Duo Lash Glue, and I'm going to go ahead and coat the lash band with the glue. I'll start with the corners, so I'm going to make sure I put a good amount that it covers the whole band like so. So I'm going in with the lash glue on my eye, basically following the eyeliner. And pro tip, the eyeliner is really good for if you feel like you're not that great with getting the lash directly to where your lash line is just yet. It covers in that little wing space. You know that your glue is mostly dry when it starts to go clear, like dark glue like this. You want to pay attention to how the lash looks. So how you can see that this corner, the lashes are a little bit smaller compared to the flare. That's how you're gonna know that this is your inner corner. I use my mirror beneath me and I look down but don't close my eye just to get on that line. Now that the primer has been sitting on, I'm going in with the Milk Hydro Spray just to bring in that freshness again. Starting with my inner corner, I'm using the Tan Neutral again. Not too much, I do like a little brightness. I'm gonna leave it like that, as well as do one dab right here, a dab right there. This shade is Deep Chestnut. That'll be for the rest of underneath. So I'm gonna go right in the brush, especially right under the eye, just to bring it all the way up with the Expert Concealer brush. This is Real Techniques 210. I'm gonna start with the light part. I use the setting brush 402 Real Techniques. And I'm going to continue blending that in and bringing it up. Now we're on the step of foundation. I'm currently using Dior's Backstage Foundation, which I love. It's 4.5 in. And I'm gonna blend it out with the Real Techniques 200 brush. So I'm just gonna drop, not directly where I put the concealer. I'm gonna place it a little bit underneath. That'll take care of the rest of the coverage. This coverage is like sheer and full. I don't really know how to describe it, but it works very good with my skin. And then my next step is to go in with my Sephora Micro Smooth Foundation, but I also use it like a setting powder. This is shade Deep 56. And I'm gonna basically cover like all over my face. And now for like low-key baking slash highlighting, I'm using the translucent Laura Mercier powder. And I'm going in with another Real Techniques brush. So I'm gonna dab it in. And then focus right where I had that lighter part. And then now I'm gonna go underneath my cheeks, which I'm gonna suck them in, and then carve it out, which is known as like a reverse contouring. Now that can sit for a little bit. Start pressing in and then sweeping with the same brush. So now it's set for a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and press it in the inner corners. That's getting compacted in like that. And then the rest is going to be a sweep and go. And then everything else will be sweeped in. My next step would be bronzing and contouring. They are not the same thing, but I do say them together because sometimes I just go in with both and just make it work. Bronzing is more so to bring back warmth to your face, and the contour is literally what the name is. It'll contour your face, like chiseling it back just to add more dimension to your face where the hollows are supposed to be. I'm going in with the Morphe face palette. The 8 are That's Rich palette. And I'm going to go ahead in with the bronzer first, which will be this shade right here. Not too much. I'm just going to get the little spaces in between. And then I'm going to go ahead and go in with the contour, which is obviously the darkest one. Not too heavy. I do like little dabs. Now I'm going to go ahead and do rotations about working my way up. I'm going to do a little bit on the forehead. And then the next step is going to be blush. I'm going to go ahead and go in with this blush shade right here. I'm going to use this random brush that I have from Beauty Muse Pro. I'm going to smile, take it right there, and drag it up. This is the part where we contour the nose. Normally I have a different kind of brush, but for some reason I cannot find it at the moment. So I'm going to go in with 2 brushes that I think are going to help. This one is more packed and condensed. This is another BH Cosmetics brush. I'm going back in with my contour shade. I'm just going to draw like a line down my nose. And I'm using another BH Cosmetics, like a fluffier brush that is angled. And I'm gonna buff out the lines. And now it is time for the second to last and my favorite part, highlighting. So the highlighter product that I've been using recently has been the Dior. Once again, this is Universal 01. I use this blush looking shade as well as this deep one. Sometimes this one, when I want the extra little pop. And I'm going to go ahead and use this e.l.f. highlighting brush. And I'm going to go in with pink and some of that brown at the bottom. Also gonna go in on the nose, on the bridge as well, and across the forehead. And the last step is to seal everything in, and that is to use this setting spray. And once again, I'm going back in with the Milk Hydro setting spray. It's refreshing and setting. So I'm gonna go all over my face, and this is when you can go crazy with it. Just gonna melt everything in. And I also misspoke beforehand. That's not the last step because obviously I didn't do the lips yet. I'm not doing anything crazy with the lips today, just doing a regular like butter gloss with NYX. So while this is setting in, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go and use Madeline. It's the shade I'm going for. It's like a nude, creamy, sheer but noticeable gloss. And now that the first setting spray is set in, because I'm taking pictures and I'm probably gonna wear this for the rest of the day. I'm also going in with the Makeup Revolution setting spray. This is the Super Hold Missing Spray, and it is really good. And we are all done for my simple glam for today. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate all the views and all the support. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, you know, like right underneath, yeah, right there. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like it, because I know you're watching, and if you made it to the end, you watched the whole thing, and honestly, you can clearly tolerate me. So like it, subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment. I would love to know the feedback from my baddies. Thank you for tuning in again, and I'll see you guys on the next video.
I tried dipping, he begged me to stay. Bae, I'm not staying, I just wanna play. In the party, he just wanna rum. Big boobs in the bus, they plump. She a baddie, she knows she a 10. She a baddie with her baddie friend.